Welcome, mindful performers. Today's topic in the vlog Every Day in April challenge is what have you learned after 15 days of video blogging? I have learned a tremendous amount of the time and energy that it takes into creating video content and editing video content. In fact, I never knew how many words I used as fillers when I was speaking. Being able to edit myself on a regular basis has truly helped the way that I speak, not only to the camera, but also to other people. Now, that may mean that I often pause instead of saying "and so" or saying and that'll be one of the first times I leave that in the video since I started this challenge. But it's made a difference in the way that I think through my thoughts and the way that I communicate. And I know that there are ways and things that I can do to get better, and I plan on doing that. But that is one of the first things that I've learned, is that we tend to use a lot of words that we don't necessarily need to use when we are speaking, just to fill the space, just to fill the gap. As a coach, I know through training that there is a lot of power in allowing for silence, in allowing for somebody to have the space to actually give you an answer or to interject a thought. So that is one of the first things that I have learned. The second thing that I have learned is that audio is very tricky when it comes to recording video. I never realized how tricky audio could be. Some of my earlier videos had all sorts of ticks and clicks, and I have no idea what was going on at first. It took me several days to figure out exactly what was occurring. But I think I have most of it figured out. And of course, once you have something figured out, why not throw a new challenge into the mix? So now I'm going to be experimenting with recording with my DSLR, along with my Yeti microphone, recording that audio into the PC, and then combining those using some of the techniques I've watched online, matching up audio to video. So we'll see. I think it'll be a higher quality video. The audio content's pretty high already. As long as it's loud enough, which is something that I believe that I've figured out. So that's what I'll be focusing on next, is just to play around and experiment with a higher quality video component. I have definitely learned the hard way that there is a lot to audio when it comes to recording. The other thing that comes to mind that I've learned is when I first started, I thought, man, there's never going to be enough topics for me to talk about every single day. Now, luckily, Amy Schmittauer, who wrote the book Blog Like a Boss, she created a calendar that gives you an idea every day in April if you can't come up with your own. This is one of those. And I'm doing this actually as kind of a buffer when it comes to having videos to post. I have a lot of ideas, and that was what I learned, is that even though I was concerned about having ideas for a vlog every day, surprisingly, when you use the techniques that she talks about in her book to create content, I had gone through that process already, and I had maybe 6 months, 3 to 6 months worth of topics that I had already written out if I had scheduled those one a week. So we accelerated the timeline a little bit, and the amazing thing is once you start talking and once you start vlogging, all sorts of other ideas come up, especially when you're keeping it to a short 2 to 5 minute video. You realize, oh, I want to talk about that. Let me talk about that in the next video, or let me schedule that to record it later on. I've also learned the importance of calendaring recordings, calendaring editing, and calendaring posting. All of those are things that I've truly appreciated as I've gone through this process. It makes it a lot easier if you have things scheduled and you have time blocked on your calendar to accomplish those things. The other thing was lighting. Lighting is almost as tricky as audio, and I still, I'm sure, have ways that I could improve the lighting that I'm using, but I believe it's better than the beginning videos, and rest assured that I will be going back and re-recording some of the older videos that have those ticks in them. In fact, I did re-record a lot of those, but any that are still out there, I'll find them and re-record them so that they are better quality and easier to listen to. Please subscribe to be notified. Click a thumbs up if this video was helpful, and don't forget to eat your cantaloupe.